Now, Wisconsin's Lieutenant Governor, Sara Rodriguez, to talk about the importance of your state. Good morning to you. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Talk to me a little bit about the political landscape of Wisconsin, considered unpredictable, a purple state. You guys can go either way, depending on who's on the ballot.
Yeah, we're used to this in Wisconsin. We have such tight margins here across the state for our national elections and for our statewide elections. The governor and I only won with about 3 percentage points this last election. And in the presidential elections, you're looking at less than 1 percentage point, whether it was Biden last time or Trump the time before. So Wisconsin is really a crucial state, and both candidates know that the road to the presidency goes right through Wisconsin.
And what resonates most with Wisconsin voters, especially in this election cycle? Because we hear the economy is important, health care, which you have extensive experience in, is important, abortion rights. Where is that landing with voters right now?
Well, I think you've got it right. There are a couple of issues when I talk to voters all across the state. I also live in a suburb of Milwaukee. I live in Waukesha County, and that's one area that's been a really big focus area for both of the candidates. And the economy is something that is coming up. And I know when I look at the plans for Vice President Harris, she's got a plan to bring down prices. She's talking about bringing down prices of medications. Right now, insulin is only $35 a month, and they were able to negotiate prices for 10 more medications. Unfortunately, President Trump is ex-President Trump is looking to be able to overturn some of those policies if he makes it back into the presidency. Abortion is on people's minds. Again, I'm a suburban mom. I'm a nurse. I know how dangerous it is to not have appropriate reproductive health care. I was just in DNC this last week in Chicago, and we heard heartbreaking stories about women who were unable to get the care that they needed and almost died because of it. And I know that Vice President Harris is the only candidate that's looking to protect those freedoms and those rights. And that's going to be really, really important for some of our independent voters and particularly suburban women in Wisconsin.
Trump seems to understand the need to appeal to moderate voters outside of his conservative base on topics like IVF. Here he is making a pitch about insurance companies paying for IVF.
I've been seeing a lot of IVF, and I kept hearing that I'm against it, and I'm actually very much for it. What we're going to do is, for people that are using IVF, which is fertilization, the government is going to pay for it, or we're going to get or mandate your insurance company to pay for it, which is going to be great. We're going to do that. We want to produce babies in this country, right? We want to produce babies.
How does this land with you with your years in healthcare on this important topic?
So, when I talk to folks about IVF, it is such a heart-wrenching decision for families to make, and it's so difficult. We've heard that as well when I was at the DNC. Unfortunately, I know that former President Trump, he is trying to run away from some of these policies that he's put out before. He said he's very, very proud of overturning Roe versus Wade. The only reason why we're talking about IVF and restrictions on IVF is because Roe versus Wade was overturned. And again, this is his responsibility. This is what he's proud of. His own vice presidential candidate did not sign on to legislation to protect IVF. So I hear what he said at that town hall, but unfortunately, we have to look at what he does and not what he says, because we know that former President Trump, fact checkers have a really hard time keeping up with him because there are lies in what he tells the public, because he just decides what to say in that moment, what he thinks people are going to be responding to. He knows his positions are unpopular. That's likely why he said that in that town hall today. But we know that his vice presidential candidate didn't sign on to protecting IVF. We got to look at what they do, not necessarily what they say.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.